Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here, and here's your latest housing market update. Home buyers right now are canceling their contracts to buy houses at the highest rate since the start of this pandemic. On top of this, consumers are getting more and more irritated or frustrated by this housing market and also the general economy as well. Additionally, housing affordability has now dropped to its lowest levels in 16 years. So that's what I'm going to be discussing in today's video. So let's first talk about Redfin's report regarding home buyers canceling their contracts to the highest rates since the start of this pandemic. And they're doing this because of a slowing housing market. And of course, some are being forced to cancel their contracts as well because of rising mortgage rates. And because of that, they no longer can afford to buy the house. And it says here nationwide, roughly 60,000 home purchase agreements fell through in June. In other words, home buyers canceled their contracts for 60,000 houses in June. And this is equal to 14.9% of houses that went under contract that month. In other words, 14.9% of pending home sales canceled their contracts. And this is the highest percentage on record with the exception of March and April of 2020, which of course was the onset of this pandemic, when the housing market was ground to a halt due to this pandemic. And by the way, the current rate of 14.9% right now is far higher than 1 month ago when that rate was 12.7%. Also, 1 year ago, the rate was only 11.2%. And here's a really good graphic depiction showing cancellation rates ever since February 2017. And by the way, I believe this only includes existing home sales and not brand new home sales. So in any case, right now, the rate is 14.9%. Far higher than last year when the rate was only 11.2% and only slightly lower than the onset of this pandemic here in March and April 2020. But as you can see here, the trajectory, just like price reductions across the United States, is basically going straight up. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this number is going to look like towards the end of this year. In any case, at the current rate of 15%, basically, this is far higher than the historical averages. This data actually goes back through 2017. This is Redfin's data here. But back in February 2017, all the way until basically the onset of this pandemic, the cancellation rates were in the range of approximately 12 to 14%. Or maybe 12 to 13%. So the current levels right now are higher than the historical average. And Redfin's deputy chief economist, Taylor Marr, had this to say: the slowdown in housing market competition is giving home buyers room to negotiate, which is one reason more of them are backing out of deals. So going back 1 year ago, our housing market was in full swing. A lot of home buyers had a really hard time getting their offer accepted. I know personally we had a lot of home buyers who took 3 to 5 offers before they accepted an offer or before they received the accepted offer. And therefore, they were much more inclined to move forward with buying the house because they had such a hard time finding a house in which the seller would accept their offer. And of course, because they're seeing a lack of houses for sale as well. So when you're currently in contract, you might be looking for houses that are still hitting the market. But when you see a lack of those houses hitting the market, then you're not going to be inclined to back out and go search for a new home. Fast forward to today, though, a lot of home buyers right now know that the sellers don't have much of an advantage as they once did. And so they're also seeing a lot of houses being listed for sale as well. And also because there's some economic uncertainty right now, it's giving some home buyers cold feet and backing out of buying houses right now. On top of this, there is fewer competition for houses that do get listed for sale. Places like Boise, Idaho, and Sacramento, for example, as well, we're seeing a huge increase of housing supply or a huge increase of the number of houses being listed for sale. And therefore, if a deal goes awry, in other words, if let's just say a home buyer submits a request for repairs from the home seller, and the home seller says, yeah, I'm not going to be doing any of these repairs, then the home buyer is just going to back out and go on to the next house because there's a lot more options available for them. And the deputy chief economist of Redfin went on to say the following here: rising mortgage rates are also forcing some buyers to cancel home purchases. If rates were at 5% when you made your offer, but reached 5.8% by the time the deal was set to close, or the time you're able to lock in your mortgage rate, you may no longer be able to afford that house, or you may no longer qualify for a loan. And they go on to say the following here in this article: of course, the housing market has cooled in recent weeks, I would say in recent months. And over the past few months, I've seen a slowdown or a cooling off our housing market here. And it says here buyers did get a reprieve last week with the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage decreasing to 5.3% in the largest 1-week drop since 2008. One thing I really don't like about this quote here is this is based on Freddie Mac's weekly survey regarding mortgage rates. But as I reported to you guys, average rates are actually far higher than 5.3%. Again, this is a weekly average. It doesn't account for daily fluctuations in mortgage rates. So at the time of this video, which is the 11th of July, average rates are actually 5.77%. 15 years, 5%. A VA loan is 5.35%, and FHA is at 5.25%. And also, according to Investopedia.com, average rates right now for a 30-year fix is 5.94%. I just want to mention this to you guys again because this was in all over the media regarding average mortgage rates decreasing to 5.3%, the biggest drop since 2008. But when you look at actual daily fluctuations, and also current rates right now are far higher than 5.3%. Okay, and changing gears slightly, let's talk about the latest survey from Fannie Mae. This was actually just published a few days ago, the 7th of July. It says here, of course, consumers appear increasingly frustrated by this housing market and, of course, the economy as a whole. And Fannie Mae's Home Purchase Sentiment Index has fallen to its second lowest reading in a decade. And according to the survey here, only 20% of the respondents believe it's a good time to buy a house. And coincidentally, about 95% of these respondents are real estate agents. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know if they're real estate agents or not, but 20% obviously is a very low number. Also, a survey high, 81% of consumers believe the economy is on the wrong track. So I actually found it very interesting regarding this survey here, because if more and more consumers are getting frustrated by this housing market, they believe the economy is on the wrong track, it makes sense that more home buyers right now are backing out about buying houses right now. And of course, another reason why people are backing out about buying houses right now is due to a lack of housing affordability. So this is the latest report from the National Association of Realtors, which was published on the 8th of July. It says, of course, housing affordability drops as mortgage payments spike 51% from May 2021. Compared to 1 year ago, housing affordability fell in May as the monthly mortgage payment climbed 51% and the median family income only rose by 4.5%. Can you say not sustainable? It's definitely not sustainable to have incomes only rise by 4.5% when the average monthly mortgage payments increased by 51%. And this huge difference between family income changes and the rise in average mortgage rates is of course due to rising mortgage rates, and of course because we have rising home prices increasing by 14.6% from 1 year ago. Now stay with me here because the current levels right now, the index of 102.5, and by the way, this is a housing affordability index. The lower the number, the least affordable the housing payment or the housing market in general is. So right now the index of 102.5, I actually did some digging for you guys, and I found out this is the lowest levels since 2006. However though, there's not a single mention of this in this article here. And like I said, I did some digging for you guys, so here's what I did. If you go onto the National Association of Realtors website, if you just Google NAR Research and Statistics, it takes you to this website here. And this is all the trends I share with you guys regarding housing affordability, pending home sales, and of course, existing home sales as well. So if you actually click on this button right here, or this link right here, it takes you to this website right here. So the monthly survey that I talk about is right here. And I'm going to be sharing this with you guys here in just a little bit. But if you actually go to here, historical information, because this report here, as you guys can see, only goes back 12 months. So if you want to look at historical levels, you have to go to this as well. To click on historical information, it says historical data can be purchased in the Realtor store. It takes you to this website right here. So take a look at this. Here's their housing affordability index, their historical data file, which goes back to, I believe, the 1980s. This is a Excel file. Take a look at this. If you're not a member of the National Association of Realtors, they want to charge you $1,500 in order to download an Excel file with their historical information. So when you actually go to add this, Take a look at this. Luckily, I'm a member of the National Association of Realtors, so my total is actually zero. It's free. But I couldn't even imagine someone paying $1,500 for this file here, which I'm going to be sharing with you right now. Pretty funny too. This actually says that this data file was updated as of June 2022, but when you actually get the file, it only goes back to December of last year. In any case, I digress. So right now, 102.5 is the current index right now. Take a look at this. Going back all the way until, this is the index, by the way, this column right here is the index of housing affordability. The higher the number, of course, the more affordable our housing market is. Of course, the lower the number, the least affordable it is. So right now, the current levels for May, again, 102.5. You have to go back all the way to July of 2006 to get below current levels right now. So in July 2006, the index was 100.5. And back then, the median sold price was just under $231,000. That's the median sold price across the nation on average. And average mortgage rates at this time was actually 6.82% for the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So in any case, the current levels we have right now are the lowest levels in 16 years, going back all the way until July 2006. But if you actually exclude these 2 months right here, May 2022's reading, again, of 102.5 is the lowest reading since July of 1991. And here it is, going back all the way till 1991. Have a look at this. Look how far back you have to go. 1991. The index was 102.3 when the average 30-year fix was 9.4% and the median sold price was just over $100,000. So to summarize this, the current levels right now for housing affordability is at its lowest levels since 2006 or 16 years. This, of course, is due to rising mortgage rates, but also home prices increasing at a much faster clip than family incomes. So here's another document I pulled from the National Association of Realtors website here regarding housing affordability over the past 12 months and also averages over the past few years. So again, we're at 102.5, the lowest levels since 2006, which is absolutely insane because 1 year ago, the levels were at 148.2. It's also pretty astonishing to look at current levels right now compared to the averages over the past few years. What's also pretty astonishing regarding current levels right now of 102.5, it's far higher than the averages in 2019 through 2021. So in May of this year, the median sold price was just over $414,000. Again, the average monthly mortgage payment was 5.31%. Again, that's according to Freddie Mac. You guys know what I think about that. Anyways, 5.3%. That gives you a payment of principal and interest only of $1,842 per month. 1 year ago is just over $1,200. That's an increase of 51% in 1 year for the average monthly mortgage payment. And right now, the payment as a percentage of income is 24.4%. And this is also the highest levels since July of 2006 as well. Additionally, as I noted here, this is almost 50% higher than 2020's levels of 14.7%. The National Association of Realtors also breaks this down by region. So they have the Northeast, the Midwest, the South, and the West. So the median sold price in the West was $651,000, and the payment as the percent of income is the highest at 35.8%. Because the qualifying income to basically buy a $650,000 house is just under $140,000. In stark contrast, the Midwest is the most affordable region where home prices are at $298,000 and the payment as a percent of income is only 17.8%. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys got any value of today's video whatsoever, then please hit the like button and greatly appreciate that. I hope you guys have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.